They say something is wrong with you when you don't want to stay longer, when your smile fades halfway through the gathering, when your energy quietly disappears the moment small talk begins. They label you antisocial, rude, awkward, or broken. They don't see the invisible exhaustion creeping into your chest when conversations feel forced, when laughter sounds rehearsed, when you're expected to perform interest instead of feel it. Society worships the loud, the constantly available, the endlessly social. So when you pull back, they assume weakness. But the truth is far less comfortable for them, because people who get drained by forced social interactions aren't weak at all. They're often the most psychologically aware people in the room. You see, forced social interaction is not connection. It's emotional labor. It requires masking, filtering thoughts, managing expressions, and regulating responses to fit expectations that were never designed with depth in mind. For some people, this costs nothing. For others, it costs everything. If your mind naturally scans for meaning, sincerity, and emotional consistency, then shallow or obligatory interaction feels like mental friction. It's like running a high-performance engine on cheap fuel. The system overheats, not because it's defective, but because it's built for something more refined. There's a type of person who drains quickly in social settings because they remember too much. The betrayed soul doesn't enter conversations lightly. At some point, they learned the hard way that openness can be used against you. They were misunderstood, talked over, mocked, or emotionally abandoned when they showed their real thoughts. So now, every interaction is subconsciously scanned for safety. Their mind asks, is this person genuine, or is this another situation where I'll have to protect myself? That constant vigilance is exhausting. It's not paranoia, it's memory. When social interaction requires emotional armor, the energy drain is inevitable. Then there's the silent observer. This person doesn't just hear words. They hear tone shifts, notice inconsistencies, feel undercurrents others ignore. In group settings, while everyone else is speaking, they're processing. They're reading body language, sensing tension, catching subtle power games, unspoken judgments, and fake enthusiasm. Their mind is always on, so when they leave a social situation feeling drained, it's because they weren't just present. They were analyzing the entire room. Silence for them isn't emptiness, it's recovery. Another archetype is the over-adapter. This person learned early that fitting in meant adjusting themselves. They became socially skilled, polite, agreeable, maybe even charismatic, but it came at a cost. In forced interactions, they subconsciously shapeshift to meet expectations. They laugh at jokes they don't find funny. They nod at opinions they don't share. They soften their edges so others feel comfortable. On the outside, they look fine. On the inside, they're depleted, because every adjustment is a small act of self-erasure, and too many of those in a short time leaves you feeling hollow. Then there's the depth seeker. This is the person who doesn't crave conversation, they crave substance. They don't dislike people. They dislike performative interaction. Surface-level talk feels like chewing air. It offers no nourishment. When they're forced into prolonged, shallow exchanges, their nervous system registers boredom mixed with frustration, not because they think they're superior, but because their mind is wired for meaning. They come alive in one-on-one conversations, in silence shared with understanding, in discussions that explore rather than impress. Take that away, and the social battery doesn't just drain, it shuts down. What all these types have in common is not social anxiety or poor communication skills. It's sensitivity to authenticity. Forced social interaction is draining because it violates their internal alignment. Their mind and body sense the disconnect between what's being said and what's being felt, and holding that disconnect takes energy. A lot of it, Stoic philosophy understood this long before modern psychology named it. The Stoics believed that peace comes from living in accordance with your nature, not society's expectations. If your nature is observant, reflective, and selective, then constant social stimulation is not enrichment. It's noise. Protecting your energy isn't avoidance, it's self-respect. Dark psychology reveals something else uncomfortable. People who pressure others into forced social interaction often need validation, distraction, or control. Your withdrawal confronts them with themselves. Your silence feels like judgment to those who rely on constant engagement to avoid their inner world. So they project. They label you cold, distant, or difficult, not because you are, but because your boundaries boundaries remind them of their own lack of them. The real danger is when you internalize their narrative, when you start believing that your exhaustion is a flaw, when you force yourself to attend, perform, and endure until resentment builds. That's when people lose themselves, not because they were introverted, but because they ignored their own signals. Your energy is not meant to be spent everywhere. It's meant to be invested in places, people, and moments that align with who you actually are. The moment you stop apologizing for needing space is the moment your nervous system begins to heal. You're not antisocial. You're selectively social. You're not detached. You're discerning. You're not broken. You're built differently. And once you accept that, something powerful happens. You stop chasing connection and start attracting it. The right conversations don't drain you. They ground you. The right people don't demand performance. They allow presence. And the more you honor your limits, the stronger you become. So, which of these types feels closest to you? Or maybe a little bit of all of them? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this made you think different, hit subscribe. We go deeper every day. Don't forget to like the video. It helps more people find messages like this. And if you want to connect with people who think like you, join our Discord community. The link is in the description. Mind Unfolded isn't just a channel, it's a mindset.